everybody. Cats and Jess here from God Hates Unicorns, and we're back with another super special, awesome round of bands and artists work on art as good as God Hates Unicorns. We have a true statement, but here with us today we have Drew Moreland from Panic Terror Films, who is absolutely unfazed at this point. Thank you so much for coming on. We're so excited to see you.
I am so excited to be on. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm so excited to talk about topics on this awesome podcast.
Topics? I have an agenda. We're going to talk about some topics, a couple of items, things. Oh,
Let's do it.
let's do it. So, we know you obviously from your films, Panic Terror Films. I would imagine most people are familiar with Panic Terror Films at this point because it's like making like it's making a splash. But tell us a little bit about Panic Terror Films. Like, what is it? How did you get this going?
Okay, so me and my friend Jason that you've met, we met in college and we were homeless, right? So we went through college without, having, student housing or anything like that. So, we made this like really cool, like, friend bond, and we see people getting all these gigs and all this stuff, and we're just like left in the dust and all this stuff, and we realized going through the film industry, there's a lot of favoritism. If you don't know someone, you can't get in. It doesn't matter how talented you are, doesn't matter how creative you are, it's who you know. And we decided to make something that can change that. So we decided to create Panic Terror Films, right, to get people together. And are you still there?
Yeah, we're still
Okay,
here.
it is froze. All right, I'll still talk. Yeah, but so we created something. Panic Terror Films is kind of like a rebellious film company. We wanted something to as a symbol, as freedom of creativity. It doesn't matter if you don't know those special people. It just matters if you're passionate about art. It matters that you have an idea that you want other people to see. Because my biggest thing throughout life was, people say, oh, you're a great artist. You can do paintings, you can draw, you can make films, you can write stories. And but people don't know that it's really hard to make an income off of that. And so I wanted to create something that art isn't controlled, because you go to certain film festivals, you can make the badass film you want, and and it doesn't get recognized or anything like that. So we created something like this to where it gives people hope, it gives people what they want, and you don't have to feel discriminative against your artistic abilities, because all art is art, and it should never be dissected in certain things. Like, people can't say that's not a good art, because what is art?
Right.
Right. And that's the same thing with filmmaking. You know there's really no such thing as a bad film. It just depends on who you are or what you're looking for. So this is what Panic Terror Films is. It's just creating something where people feel welcomed, people can have the freedom of creativity to make something. And so far it's been a wild ride. Me and Jason really created something that gave a lot of people hope, and I can't believe on how it went international too as well.
I love you 1,000. Like, that touches my heart so much. You've been through so much, and you took it and you made this amazing force. And it is international. Everything you post, I'm like, holy shit! And every single thing you post is cooler than the last. Like, the attention that everything is getting. And you are right; it's really hard to get anywhere without being like, well, I'm here because I know. So just having that. Yeah, that's kind of my thing too. Is I just want people to know, like, there is hope, and you can be do the things that they're passionate about. And it's so amazing.
Yeah, the one thing I hate in the world is when someone says I can't do something.
Yeah.
And I have to do it. Like, I have to do it. Someone told me that I can't make a magazine. Well, I'm going to make one.
I know. I can't wait for the sticker one to come in. Oh my God. I check the mail every day. It's like, come on. Oh my God.
You're going to love it. There's really cool content inside. And, you're just gonna love it. You're gonna love it, and hidden behind the veils in there too. So it still gives you guys a lot of recognition too. So I like to carry everyone that I work with along the way, and I never leave anyone out of the picture. I always try to bring people in. From the last project, even if they weren't on set, I'll still kind of include them, like if there's like a photo in the background or something. So there's like little Easter eggs and different things.
That's so awesome. And then we didn't bring this up. Tell everyone about your magazines and what you have out now.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so the magazine, we have the director and actress Destiny. She's really cool. She's making this really awesome movie called Christmas Slasher. I noticed it before, it got as big as it now, but like right when it first started, like I heard about it. I'm like, what is this? And for a female director, getting people from Buffy the Vampire Slayer on that film. Lloyd Kaufman's a part of it. That created Trauma. This woman made so much of an impact. I just found it so inspiring, and like anyone can do it. It's just you just got to do it. If you want to make a film, you can do it. And this girl is proving that. And so I put her on the cover, and it's a really badass painting too. The guy who did the painting is all the way from UK, and so he's getting recognition too. He's never been on a magazine cover. She's never been on a magazine cover, so it's really neat to create something where it inspires yourself even more. And then the fact to see yourself in a magazine, I just think it's cool because we reach people from Africa, Japan, United Kingdom, and just to make people feel special because they're talented, because they're artists. That's what's important. It doesn't matter how many people you know. It just matters that you're doing some art that inspires others, and that is the sole purpose of art.
It is. It absolutely is. And there's nothing greater you can get from art than knowing that you inspired somebody else.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, money.
Well, you're right on that one too.
Exposure.
It's like, would you rather inspire or have a whole bunch of money? I'll take the money. Fuck other people. I'm kidding.
Well, hold on. I used to teach painting, right? And I used to be a paint instructor, and I always joked about all these different paintings, right? And I always say, I feel like this will be $1 million idea, and I'm going to share it here on this podcast. Just how to do this painting. You ready? Get a canvas, nothing on it, and get a round brush with some black paint. Somewhere randomly, but not in the center, somewhere randomly on that canvas, just put one little dot and call it Fly on the Wall.
That is a really good idea.
Yeah.
Did you make it yet?
No, but I just feel like you got to get like one of those giant canvases.
A big canvas.
With just that
a huge one. And you might, if you want to make it $1 million painting, I'm going to say paint the canvas white, like paint over it so it looks like it's all painted, but really you're just and then you're gonna be rich. Somebody's gotta do that.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna do
that's
it.
do it.
Painter.
Love that idea.
Fly on the wall. It's
Well, that's the dream, though, right? To make to be so incredibly famous, you could just like shit in a bucket, and they'll be like,
Not the
and they'll,
dream. It's not you actually like you. I don't think that anybody's goal was like, I'm gonna just shit in a bucket. Like if you're shitting in that bucket, there's a lot of feelings going into that bucket too. You know,
sure, but I mean,
Taco Bell.
like that's I mean, like yeah, do so much awesome things that you could just do some bullshit and then people will pay you for it. I'm like, wow, that's because that's Panic Terror Films. They just recorded a freaking caterpillar.
Listen, I would buy the caterpillar.
Yeah.
So maybe that theory is correct, but I think that real artists put love in what they do. So they're not going to be like, here's just a poop. It's going to be, here's a poop, but I put a lot of love in it. And that's worth something.
It is. It is.
Oh, man. So, not to be like, take this back to us, but we had so much fun being able to be a part of Hidden Behind the Veil, and we had the most amazing time getting to see it on the big screen. And I know that it was nominated for Best Monster like that. You had 48 hours to do that, and I don't feel like that's a possible thing. I feel like somebody's fine because it was so good and it was so well done and well thought out and well produced. And I'm like, that's it. But I know it did. I know you're not just hiding behind the veil of what actually happened. It was so much fun. Since then, you have released, I will say, the big name, Hobo Saves the World, and it's gotten a lot of attention, and that's everywhere. And tell us about that.
So Hobo.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So so Hobo Saves the World. We wanted to make a movie about a homeless man saving the world because there's this big epidemic, not just in one country but all over the world too. I mean, pandemic actually, with people that are being homeless. And when people think of homeless people, they think of theft or hygiene or something, right? So they belittle people who are homeless, but in the real case, these people have been through something. They got a story, right? They're not just this person, right, that we just pass and just go, this. They're a human being, and I have never ever seen a movie about a homeless man saving the world. And my whole thing is when you're an artist, making films, you're making content. So what you put out in the world, people feed off of it, right? So the more negative films you make, the world will become more negative. The more positive things you make, the world will become positive. This, like I said, art is very important, and the world is based off of our creations, right? So why not make a film about a homeless guy saving the world, and maybe people can start thinking a little bit differently about this kind of situation, right? And so we wanted to make a film like that, and we did, but we added this thing, and me and Jason, we're like, well, what happens if we make a horror film but without the violence, right? And so we're like, let's just do it. And so we made a zombie film that had no guns involved. No one's getting stabbed by anything. Besides a loaf of bread, there's a guy that stabs someone with a loaf of bread.
That'd be dangerous.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, and you know, it's really just supposed to like inspire people, filmmakers, anyone, that, you know, it doesn't matter on the quality, it just matters on the story, it matters on the concepts. And we filmed it a certain way because a lot of these films out there are really you know, really like theater like, you know, really like wow, and it seems like you need like a lot of money to make that. And we're like, well, what if we do the opposite? Let's lower the quality and make a story, and let's see if people can actually follow it, right? Because today's society, you know, you watch something on TV, it's the same thing. Like you go on Netflix, it's the same.
Yeah.
Every show is the same thing. It's suspense, it's drama, it's the same color grading. Like it's like I'm watching the same thing over and over and over again, but just a different theme. And I wanted to show people that how you're kept inside a box, really, you know? It's just kind of just get out and do something, and find more of originality than, you know, sticking to these trends that are coming out. Do something different.
I love that. And that's so important. And it's the thing is, you know, you say, you know, it doesn't matter like the cinematographics. That's not the word. But it is also very well done. Like, yeah, put a lot of love into it. Like it's really something that you know, and just to clarify, it's very well done and it's very fun. And now I love that because I got to talk about it. Like it's just, and it's so important. It is. Like I think that it's really easy for people to be like, oh, yeah, like you're homeless, well, what's wrong with you? And it's like nobody thinks about it. It's like nobody's just like, you know what? I don't feel like doing anything. I'm just gonna do nothing and just say, like, it's people go through hell, and people are people, and I think that just shining the light and making, you know, Publishing's World, making somebody kind of a hero is really important and put things in a better perspective for people. And yeah, again.
Especially on the East Coast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because East Coast homeless and West Coast homeless are two different things.
Yeah.
And it's not disparaging or saying anything bad about any of the two, but they're different. And that's like the fact that Hobo Saves the World has like an East Coast homeless person, which is like, you know, in the elements, like, you know, been through some shit. You know, it's inspiring. You know, it brings it close to home for us from Pennsylvania, where it's like, okay, yeah, that's somebody I could see on the street.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, when it's like, it's not someone I'm going to see on the beach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some aspiring girl from Oklahoma was like, oh, I just didn't get the job.
Yeah, I'm just so glad you guys, like, you know, saw the image behind Hobo. You know, I really appreciate that, because like I said, there's just so much into it. The more you watch it, the more things you notice. Like we did like ridiculous commercials, you know, for a reason. Yeah, they were funny, but you know, it shows desensitizing. You know, like you watch something on TV and you're like, wow, I gotta buy it, but why do you have to buy it?
Right.
You don't, like, you know, you can have the same amount of happiness if you just appreciate the things that are surrounding you, you know, and a lot of people forget about that.
Yeah.
And you have to have the new product now, instead of like just stop and just absorb your surroundings for a second and just appreciate everything you have, because the next day it could be gone. You don't know what could happen. And that's just, it's just so important. and when people, you know, get involved was, I'm not just saying like media, but just like anything, it's just, you just got to stop and just breathe and just really enjoy the moment, because it doesn't last forever.
It doesn't. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
There is one exception to this, though, and I think it's important to note that you do need to go buy your Hobo Saves the World merchandise immediately, and it will make you more happy.
Yeah. Guaranteed.
Guarantee it. But aside from that one specific caveat, you're right, and it's such a good reminder. And sometimes, you lose sight of it. I know I do. Just get like stressed and busy, and I just powering through, and I'm not even paying attention to all of the wonderful things around me. I'm just like, let's get through the day. And it's easy to do. It's probably easy to do for anybody, I would think.
Mhm.
But it's really important to like stop and appreciate what you have. Focus on the now, and not be worried about like, oh, what does everybody else have? What are they doing? Life.
And like one more thing too, I forgot to mention about Hobo. This is a really cool thing. So I said $0, right?
Mm-hmm. This was $0. I think you said that
Right.
before we started recording. $0 in there.
Right. So to make a movie about a homeless man, you got to stay true to the art. You can't put money into it if you're making a movie about a homeless person. You got to use your surroundings. So we took the elements of being homeless and applying that to the film. So we spent $0 on everything, and people donated their special effects, like props. Like we had people that donated like sever heads that are like in the background in the film. We had people donated their time to be on set to make the zombies. The airbrushing, the special effects artists, they came in and donated their time to do this. We had people, we had a guy from Maryland who went to our college, and he donated his time to come out to the set and build a life-size zombie that's a puppet in that movie, that one that's like laying on the ground. And then we had people that flew out from Texas and Missouri and California and Florida just to be in this film, right? And everyone knew that they're not getting paid. It was just because it was the purpose is to make some art, and it was just so unique, and it just shows that there is like hope in humanity, because like in like the beginning, you see the news reporters saying like people are losing their shit. They are. The world is crazy. There's kids killing kids. There's people blowing up places, and it's insane. And for one split second, we prove that people can come together for the greater good, just to do something and be creative. And what if everyone can do that? Maybe that might help certain things. It just shows that violence can stop for just a second, just so you can just make something. And like it was just really cool to see that.
This like, oh my God, it gives me so much hope. Like, and it just makes me so happy. And just seeing what you're doing, and seeing the support, and seeing just the outreach, and the people that are touched, and the people affected, and the people inspired, and the people involved. And like, think about
people being touched.
The people being touched. Think about the amount of people you've touched in a not saying physically, but like,
wait, what's happening here? Who's touching who?
That has to be an amazing feeling, like the lives you've impacted by what you're doing.
Yeah, it's really cool because, like, like I said, me and Jason, we've been through a lot of things. And I used to be an EMT, right?
Oh,
I used to wear a badge and ride an ambulance and go on 911 calls. And it made me grow up, and it made me see what the world is like, and the horrors and reality that a lot of people just don't get to see.
mhm,
And the more I was in the medical field, the more passionate I became with my artwork, because I just felt like making art has so much more of a purpose than a lot of people think. And when we did our first casting call, Tell Your Story, it
mhm.
was a non-paid gig, and we hit every state in the United States so people can tell their story. And it changed so many people's lives. Like, um, there are some people in that film that I will not name, but they've called us and told us, like, like maybe a month.
Oh no, cut out, wait. Intermission, intermission. We'll be back.
We need one of those little spinny things.
Can I add one?
Yeah, a spinny thing.
There are people in there that
You missed a whole lot of that. It cut out.
oh, okay, yeah. So like I said, I'm not going to name any names here, but there are some people in that film that told us the next day or a month later or so that they went straight into rehab after that interview, because they got to tell their story. And this is where you know this is where problems are created, is when you can't talk about something because you fear on being judged by society. So we made this movie, on this documentary. Well, the whole United States made it. We just pieced it together. But we interviewed all these people, and they all had a similar trait. And it was this void. Everyone has this void that they want to fill, this need. And I realized, when I was a EMT, that when you are in such a dark spot, it feels like no one understands. Like, you try to tell us, but no one can never understand where you're coming from or what you're going through. And we all had this happen to us somewhere, somehow, in different forms. But why not make a piece of art, a documentary that has multiple things, so when someone out there can watch it, then they don't feel so alone. They can relate. And that's the whole purpose of it.
Oh my god. You're my favorite person, and it's going to be really hard for me to tell all of the other people that they're no longer my favorite person, but it's a conversation I have to have. I am so inspired by you. I am just absolutely, my heart could explode. This is what life is all about. I love everything you're doing. I love everything you're about. I'm so proud of everything that you've done. I'm so fucking excited to see what comes next. And I couldn't sing your praises from a high enough mountain. You really are incredible, and you should be so fucking proud of yourself.
Thank you. Wow, that's really nice to hear. Like, you don't hear that too often. It's just, I'm just so glad that you enjoy the content that we made, and I'm so grateful that you guys were a part of a project. And I would like to have you guys on set physically to be in a movie.
For sure.
How awesome that would be, like, for real. Like, we're gonna be having some cool stuff happening in the new year, and it's it's gonna be badass. So but yeah, no, I just wow, I'm glad that, our work really, resonated with you guys. And the cool thing with Hidden Behind the Veil, I just first of all, your band's name, God Hates Unicorns, right? This is about a priest, okay? like, like we can't get any better than this, like, you know what I mean? And then, like, when I was on the hunt for discovering new talent and stuff, I came across this band, God Hates Unicorns. I'm like, huh, this sounds like a really cool band. Let me check them out. And I'm listening to the music, and I'm like, wow. And then, like, I'm getting like these pictures in my head, and that's what happens, like, with me with art. Like, I listen to something and I start thinking of things, and and I'm just like, these people are really talented. Like, they got something going on, and I'm like, I want them in my magazine. Like, these are some cool freaking people. And, like, dude, I love your freaking music. That's some badass shit. I love it. It's awesome. Like, and I just really think that, like, your style, it really went with our videography. And I just please continue to make more music, because I absolutely love it. Like, it's so cool. And people, when they watch, like, Hidden Behind the Veil, they're like, that's a badass song. They're just like, that's cool as shit. Like, and then about the blowjob in the beginning, like, I love it. I love it. It's great. It's great. And I just, man, like, you guys are really inspiring, because you guys just do what you want, and it's awesome. I love it.
That's the whole point. Like, you're talking about filmmaking and stuff, and it reminds me of, like, watching old John Waters speeches, when he's talking about, like, going to, like, his neighbor's pig pens and filming Divine, go through freaking mud and shit, and, like, just doing whatever they want, and being like guerrilla filmmaking. And it's brilliant. Yeah, you have to do what you want.
Yeah, I mean, you're, like I said, you guys' music, it's like, it's so original. You don't hear, like, a lot of music, it's like, okay, it's the same tempo, it's the same rhythm. This is just like, you're singing what you want, you're writing what you want, you're playing what you want, you're expressing what you want. Like, it's just, it's like, it's true punk music, number one. You know what I mean? Like, it just, like, it's awesome. Like, and, like, I just think you guys are just real inspiring. I mean, like, and man, it's just so cool. I wish I could sing like that. Like, I'll be doing it all the time.
Sing! Trust me, I never thought I could sing, and just do it. Just do it and keep doing it. And that's the only reason I got here, because it was like one of those things I really liked when I was younger, and then my mom was like, well, you're not very good. But, and then I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'll stop. But then I just started doing it again, and I kept going and kept going. I was like, oh my God, no. Like, so anything you want to do, like you were saying, just do it. And you're so, it was such a dream to be part of this. Like, seriously, I was so excited. It was already, like, in the world. I was just, like, beside myself with excitement. And then getting to hear blowjob on the big screen. Like, accomplishment.
I could die now.
It was so great.
You know what was so funny about that whole thing, though? Was, I was told there was supposed to be this red carpet ceremony. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then we get there, and it's like this little piece of, like, red carpet. And I'm like,
they didn't lie.
They didn't lie. They didn't lie. But, yeah, that was funny shit. That was funny. And you know what was cool too? How did you guys feel about that applause about after that film when we saw our film on the screen? I mean, that whole theater was like really clap. How did that make you guys feel?
It was, to me, it was unbelievable that we got to be a part of it. It was unbelievable we got to be there, and I was so impressed with the film. Like, it was just like such a moment. Like, I couldn't believe that we got to be connected with you and be part of that.
Yeah.
Joshua,
What's up?
How'd you feel?
Well, you seen the popcorn.
I did see the popcorn. There was the hole in the middle, and I know, but nothing was happening at that point. So should have been so
No, it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I was very delighted by it. I did see the film beforehand, and I was pleasantly surprised by like all of the films there. But like Hidden Behind the Veil was amazing, and I couldn't believe that that we're a part of it.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool, guys. I'm just glad I met you guys. You know, just really cool people. Like seriously. We gotta go out for some like drinks or something, you know?
I wanted to end it with this. I have one thing that I don't think that you're gonna be able to do. I don't think that you're gonna be able to hang out with us and have some drinks and snacks. I don't think you can do it.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to come out and do it then. Like,
you're gonna have to.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to. I mean, we're like in the same vicinity, you know what I mean? We're all from Pittsburgh area, so yeah. Let's go out. Let's do it. Let's do it. I like Corona. Yingling, I like mojitos.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good. You ever have those?
Oh yeah.
Bomb. Those are bomb. Margaritas, strawberry margaritas. Yeah. Good stuff.
We're gonna have a fine time.
We should do like a hibachi or something.
Josh doesn't eat meat, but we'll make sure you don't have meat touch yourself. Or
Yes.
you can just sit and watch people eat. With your morals, you can just be nourished by your good moral values.
Well, I'm pretty sure that, you know, they can do like, like what, you're vegan?
It was vegetarian.
Vegetarian? Okay. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure they could like fry you up something and then you can catch like a piece of broccoli, you know?
Yes. They'll do the like little flip of the broccoli.
Yeah.
That reminds me when I first became a vegetarian, they're like, we can go to a steakhouse, you can get a salad.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sounds fucking amazing. I can't wait.
This is different. It'll be fun. Absolutely.
No, I actually like hibachi vegetables. They're good.
Yeah, I like the snow peas.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
And
Those.
I could have a salad.
Yeah.
We'll see if Pam's dressing of it.
But yeah, let's make some plans though. I'm excited because I mean we done a project. We're gonna do another project this year, and like I said, I want to have you guys on set. You know what I mean? And like, you know, it just you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. So quick question while I'm on here. Do you want to be like background? Do you want to have like a role? You know, you want to roll?
I want
We
to
want
roll.
rolls. We want to, and I'm
I ain't
not
coming out of my house for anything more than a roll.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, yes, he is. But anyways, we would be happy to do anything. We'll talk about off camera because I want to make sure we have enough space to save this all. So everybody, Dreu Moreland Panic Terror Films, please, if you haven't already checked them out while you're watching this, for the love of God, it's inspiring, and I hope it inspires you as much as it inspires us, and we are so thankful for you to be on. We can't wait for what's to come.
I loved it, guys. Thank you so much for having me on. Let's do it again.
Yes.
We will.
Mojitos.
Yeah. All right, bye.
Bye.
Cheers.